Welcome back. She's a former member of the Los Angeles City Council, now a candidate for LA County Supervisor District 2. Jan Perry joins us. She's running against Herb Wesson, the former president of the LA City Council, and Holly Mitchell, state senator. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So why you?
Well, because of my accomplishments, because of my achievements, because of my demonstrated ability to build affordable housing, to build housing for people who are formerly homeless and mentally ill, to house people on an emergency basis, to be able to put people back to work in big numbers, and I get it done. I don't just talk about it, I actually got it done.
Priority is homelessness?
Absolutely. I think it's a failure to recognize that this is a life-threatening emergency, and the life-threatening emergency for the people who are out there on the street in tents and encampments, the longer they stay out there, the greater the likelihood is that they will never recover. It also affects people's communities. It causes the spread of all kinds of illnesses. For me, my own personal experience in going into encampments from 2001 to 2013 with teams of people from the county and from the city to get people out led me to the conclusion that when I witnessed a woman on the last day of her life, because we begged her to come in to get services in a bed, she said no. She got murdered a few hours after we left. It was then
murdered?
Yeah, she was murdered. She got stomped to death. So the next time I was confronted with that situation, it was a man in an alley behind a church in South LA. He had gangrene. So I got him out of that alley and everything else, 10 trucks, buckets, hazmat unit. And as he was being taken away on the gurney to County USC, he was very angry. He did not want to go, but I knew that he was dying. I had taken a picture of his leg. The paramedics were there, said he had maybe 72 hours left to live. He said, "I'm not going. You can't make me." And I said, "You are going because you're going to die. I'm not going to let you die." So he was taken, and he was taken to get medical treatment. I don't know what the outcome was, but that's the kind of reality that I'm talking about.
Did you have the legal right to do that?
I don't know, probably not. He said he didn't want to be treated. He was dying.
What relationship does the county have to have with the city of Los Angeles and the state of California?
Okay, you can have a relationship, and obviously, theoretically, a relationship with the state, the county, and the cities in the affected areas. Yeah, that's important. But the issue about homelessness that people don't recognize, if someone takes a position, a movement, and creates some movement, if that is what I'd like to do, establish trusteeships, conservatorships, guardianships, to have county social workers carry that caseload on the street to start pulling people into emergency beds. And as supervisor, I create more beds, an emergency village with support services on site. Whatever one person does in one area under one governmental authority, it creates a push or an effect or a response in the other governmental entities, the county or the state. You can't sit around and wait for somebody to agree with you. And, you know, having a, quote, homeless czar clearly has not been the answer. I mean, I look back on the record for the city's had several homeless czars. One thing that does need to be redone and reworked is the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, which is an intergovernmental.
What needs to happen there?
Well, you know, I've always felt that you needed to have less emphasis on political appointments just for the sake of a political appointment, and to put people on there who have subject matter expertise.
And currently that's not the case as far as you're concerned?
It has not been the case in the past, and I think we've suffered mightily for it. And then LASA had been reduced to a mere entity to, you know, pass contracts through when it could be much more.
Let's turn to something else. The Sheriff of Los Angeles County, independently elected, Alex Villanueva. There's lawsuits between the Board of Supervisors and the Sheriff. There's some acrimony. What is your approach to him and his office?
I've read what you know, has gone on with the supervisors, and it does concern me, particularly with respect to hiring back people who were terminated for just cause. And you know, what does that portend? You know, you don't bring your friends into a work situation that is delicate, highly volatile, and deals completely with, you know, human relations all day long. That's not the point of heading an organization like that, is to protect people.
Does the county need a new jail, or does it need a new jail that's not really a jail but rather a mental health institution?
I think the county needs a hybrid of that, because you know, I know this from my own experience, that the jail facilities have been the largest de facto mental health facility without the services on site for the last whatever, 20, 30 years, and it hasn't worked because people are incarcerated without receiving treatment. And thus, you have the issues of recidivism, implicit bias, disproportionate impacts in communities such as the African American community, where people keep cycling and recycling through the criminal justice system. And so, I'm a big believer in restorative justice and to put support where it is needed and allocate it through the budget process.
Final question, 2 million voters within your district that you're running for which is larger than some states. What do you think they're going to be looking for when they mark that ballot?
I think they're going to be looking for a change agent, somebody who's going to do things differently. I think they're going to be looking for someone who is very hands-on, somebody who is very direct and forthright, outspoken, somebody with accomplishments, not somebody they have to figure out whether they know what they're doing, someone like me who has already demonstrated that I know what I need to do to better serve the people who live in the 2nd District. Jan
Perry, formerly of the City Council, now running for the Board of Supervisors, LA County, thank you very much for joining.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.